I'm really not trying to get the Reform Party to sue me again, especially when I know that lot have a habit of calling the lawyers whenever anybody links them to Russia. So I would never say Nigel Farage is a Russian asset. But I do want to make some really basic points that nobody should be able to argue with, and certainly nobody should sue me over. For example, like, when you think of Nigel Farage, what's the main effect that he has had on British politics? What's the main policy you think of when you think of Nigel Farage having a substantive effect on the UK? I mean, it's obviously Brexit, right? The thing that Vladimir Putin said that we had to do. So the single biggest change in UK politics in the last 40 years, the thing that Nigel Farage spent 25 years pushing for, was explicitly given the thumbs up from the Russian Kremlin. And by the way, the reason that Putin supports Brexit is because, just like with Ukraine, how he doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO, a divided Europe is a weaker and more vulnerable Europe. And if you think that's a coincidence, Nigel Farage also said that Vladimir Putin was the politician he admired most in the world. And when he was asked about that,
what is it about the murderous dictator as an operator that you admire?
How many years has he been in power? You know, he's gone from prime minister to president. He's a clever political operator.
And I know there will still be some die-hard reform supporters in my comments making excuses for that, saying it might be okay. Maybe it's not the bad stuff he likes about him. Maybe he just admires him as a political operator. But Farage's first response to why he likes Putin is because he admired how long Putin has been in power. But Putin has been in power because he's been executing and jailing all his opponents. Putin has been in power for so long because he's the definition of a fascist dictator. And that's what Farage says he likes about him. And that's on top of constantly repeating Putin's propaganda, like blaming Western countries for Russia invading Ukraine. So let's just look at Nigel Farage objectively. The main material impact that he has had on the UK was Brexit, a policy that helps and was supported by Vladimir Putin. Farage is on record as saying that he looks up to Vladimir Putin as a model of how to run a country. And on the biggest issue that directly concerns Russia in our lifetimes, a country that has launched attacks on UK soil in the last 10 years, Farage took the side of Russia, blaming the West and giving justification to Putin for his war in Ukraine. Whew, it's been a long day. Let's put on some music.
Bomb, arrest the president. You got the evidence. That nigga is Russian intelligence.